people in the world live in an urban area. By mid-century, this will increase to 70%. But as recently as 100 years ago, only 2 out of 10 people lived in a city, and before that, it was even less. How have we reached such a high degree of urbanization, and what does it mean for our future?
With urban populations increasing in the United States over the past couple of decades, this has greatly impacted the way that people live, work, travel, and build connections. Now, while this impact has been described as overall positive for humans, I wonder if the same can be said for urbanization's impact on plant and animal species. Hi, my name is Lucas Around, and today I'll be discussing urbanization's impact on plant and animal species. Now, for some context, according to this graph by Our World in Data, it displays the true rapid urban growth previously discussed in the video. And we can see that almost 90% of the United States is projected to be urbanized by 2050, which is a 10% increase from the 80% rate of urbanization that the United States is currently at. Now, this rapid urban growth raises the question, how has urbanization in the United States over the past 50 years impacted plant and animal species? Now, I believe that due to urbanization, plant and animal species have seen drastic decreases in their biodiversity, habitats, and overall health. First, I will discuss how urbanization has led to the degradation, fragmentation, and destruction of plant and animal habitats. Now, according to What is Acid Rain by Antonia Serjax, as urban cities grow and expand, the increased automobile use results in the releasing of harmful gases such as nitrogen oxides and sulfur dioxides. Now, when these harmful air pollutants react with the atmosphere, they turn into acid particles, which are then disposed of through acid rain. Now, this acid rain is extremely harmful to plant and animal species as it acidifies both soil and freshwater supplies. And as this acid rain dissolves, it releases aluminum in concentrations toxic to both fish and plant populations. Also, plus in this graph by the RC's Foundation, we can see more ways that urbanization has indirectly and directly impacted plant and animal species habitats, with some of these causes being coastal development, aquaculture, coral bleaching, reef destruction, trawling, dams, mining, runoff, just to name a few. Now, this has reportedly led to 35% of critical marine habitats to have been destroyed, with another 60% of the world's major ecosystems to be degraded. Now, this is significant, especially because the world's oceans comprise over 90% of the habitable space on the planet. Now, along with the decline in plant and animal habitats due to urbanization, there's also a clear decline in plant and animal health due to urbanization. Now, according to Global Littering Issues in 2022, 75% of people admitted to have littered in the past 5 years. Now, this litter's impact on plant and animal species can be seen here in these 2 photos from the College Board stimulus source, Urban Evolution, How Species Adopt to Survive in Cities. We can see that urban animal and plant diets and living conditions are affected by this excessive litter that is amplified in urbanized areas. This can be further supported by these 2 quotes from the Texas Disposal Systems in 2023, which states firstly that 1 million animals die each year after ingesting or becoming entrapped in improperly disposed trash or waste. And we can also see here that they state that as litter degrades, chemicals and microparticles are released, which, when they make their way to soil and fresh water sources, are poison to plant and animal species. Now, next, the increase in urbanization over the past 50 years has also led to a decline in plant and animal genetic diversity. Now, in this graphic done by Owen Mulheron, who is a data journalist and biologist, he shows the 5 threats to biodiversity, which all seem to be connected to urbanization. Now, land and sea change use is seen when urban areas grow, expand, or form. Pollution is seen highly amplified in urbanized areas through things such as air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, and light pollution. Species exploitation is specifically seen in coastal urban areas that rely on the overexploitation of species such as fish to provide both economic and societal benefits. Climate change is seen with the deforestation and increased automobile use that is seen in urbanized areas. And also, invasive species and disease are also a risk because of the alteration to plant and animal habitats due to the construction of urban areas and development. Now, luckily, there are solutions with their own respective limitations to possibly solve or reduce this problem. Now, first, governments can provide economic incentives to companies who decide to become more environmentally friendly. However, not all urban areas will see a point to this because it provides little to no economic gain and there would be little purpose to doing this. Two, placing more recycling bins and signs throughout urban areas could possibly minimize the amount of improperly disposed trash and plastic. But again, this may not make a lot of sense economically for cities as it provides little to no economic return. Three, leaving certain sections of wildlife important to ecosystems protected under a set of laws or legislation could also possibly reduce the amount of plant and animal species that are seen to reduce in their habitats, genetic diversity, and health. Now, not all cities will agree to pass this legislation as it may conflict with economic or commercial interests. This is my works cited. Do you have any questions?
Two questions real quick. First one, what information did you need before you even began your research?
Before I began my research, I needed evidence on specifically how urbanization impacted plant and animal species, obviously, and you could see that through the Save Our Seas Foundation graph that I used at the beginning, as it showed both direct and indirect ways that urbanization impacted plant and animal species.
And if you had more time, what additional research would you conduct?
If I had more additional time, I would definitely try to figure out a specific plant or animal species in the United States that was impacted by urbanization, because I didn't have enough time to find a specific plant or animal species that was impacted all throughout the United States through urbanization.